Michael, welcome to the program. We've got 7 weeks to go in the referendum campaign, so it seems. What's your take on how it's travelling for both sides of the campaign so far?
Thanks, Amanda. I suspect a lot of people will be very glad when the 7 weeks is over, irrespective of which way they want to vote. It's going to be, I think, a pretty painful 6 weeks after the so-called starting gun is fired by the Prime Minister. Look, the conventional wisdom is the vote will be held on October the 14th. I can't imagine it'll be any other day because of other factors. So why the secrecy even around the date up until this point? Well, it seems to match a lot of the semi-secrecy around the detail, it seems, from the advocates of this. Where do I see this going? Look, I think it's going to be defeated. I've said that from the start. We may be surprised by the scale of the defeat, judging by the polling at this stage, although for those that are passionate advocates for the status quo, that is, those who want to support no, I would caution them, because there are millions and millions of dollars in advertising campaign coming your way. It's going to bombard you on your television screens, no doubt, across the airwaves and the radio and on the newspaper and social media, and it'll almost all be for the Yes campaign. They are cashed up, they have plenty of money to spend, and they will spend it. Certainly in those final 6 weeks, it'll be targeted. I don't think there'll be too many ads in Queensland. I think that's gone to the no camp. There won't be too much advertising the ACT. If they lose that, they may as well pack up and go home. But that doesn't count, obviously, toward the state tally. But it will go into the overall majority vote. So I think the people in New South Wales, WA, South Australia and Tasmania are going to get hit pretty hard with advertising, and just brace yourselves for it, people.
Well, the Yes side are already outspending the No side 8-1, and they've barely turned on the tap of cash. So undecided or disengaged voters really could be at risk, and the No side really can't be complacent. But the Yes side, well, they still seem really confident, don't they, Michael? The Prime Minister has emphatically and repeatedly predicted that Australia will vote yes. Penny Wong has revealed her distress when she says she witnessed racism in what she called the worst public discourse since the Mabo debate. And yet the polls are predicting that the No campaign is still comfortably ahead. Is the Yes side bluffing here? Do they not trust the polls, or is there something else going on?
Well, let me put it this way, Amanda. Eddie Jones has taken the Wallaby squad over to France for the World Cup. At the airport, he was asked how they were going to go, and he said they'd win. Now, not too many people believe that, but what was Eddie Jones meant to say? We're going to go and if we're going to lose, we're going to get... Of course you're going to say you're going to win. You're in it to win it, and I suppose while you're there, you've got a shot. It's the same for the Yes campaign here, and they may well win, as we said. I mean, at this stage, I think most people would suggest the No camp are in front. But that avalanche of capital, which we just referenced, and you said, they've only just started. I mean, the dam is about to spill. That will, no doubt, affect some votes. Now, it may, ironically, push a lot of the undecideds into the No camp, because they say, look, just get away, we've had enough of all of this, leave us alone, go away, there's bigger things to worry about. So it may not work. It might be a Pyrrhic victory for the Yes campaign, but it no doubt, advertising works, otherwise there wouldn't be an advertising industry. And there's a lot of it coming, and it may well move the dial back toward the Yes campaign. Will it be enough at this stage based off where we think it is? I doubt it, but things might tighten up.
No room for complacency, that's for sure. Now to some economic news. Treasurer Jim Chalmers has said he will confront big companies with tougher laws to stop monopolies and protect consumers. Michael, can we really trust him on this? Didn't the Albanese government just reject a request from Qatar Airways to increase flights before Qantas plastered Yes campaign propaganda on the side of its planes, and seems to have made a very anti-competitive decision on that front?
Well, yeah. Look, that's a very valid point to make. I think if we're looking at the economy, the biggest player in this entire economy is the government. Now, there have been moves over the years to privatise a range of government, what were once government assets and operations of government. And in a number of circumstances, those have been very beneficial to the economy. But equally, if the concern is a move back toward monopolisation, but in the private sector, again, government are the biggest are the biggest culprit here. I mean, you look, take New South Wales, for example, and the toll road network. Now, they are pretty much all in the hands of one company. One. So, here you have government saying, oh, well, monopolies are bad. We've got to get the private sector in there and smash things up a bit. As you say, when the private sector says, all right, well, let's have true competition. We'll bung a few more flights on and take on Qantas and Emirates and Air New Zealand. Oh, no, can't do that. Oh, no, we don't have the runway space. Can't do that. Sorry. And when they've got the public assets to sell, time and time again, they keep selling them to the same company. So they create what I would argue is the worst of all monopolist situations, which is the private monopoly. Because at least, unlike the government, the private sector have to obviously have a return to the shareholders, which means the cost invariably in a monopoly situation goes up. So, look, I don't want really the government controlling this too much. Let the market decide a lot of these buys and sells and these mergers. We've got ASIC, we've got these other entities. They don't always do a good job, but they are there. And, I think this is sort of the big puppet master stuff from Canberra, but how much actually percolates through, time will tell, but it might be a lot of talk, but not much tangible action on the ground, I suspect.